Hi guys, I'm sorry I couldn't talk to you yesterday. I know things are a bit chaotic, especially with parent-teacher conferences coming up, but hopefully we'll be able to talk next week. If you read my blog post on Monday, though, you'll know that I talked a lot about language in that, especially about the Chinese language, because that's what I'm interested in as a linguistics student. Language is very fascinating to me, and I study language, how it works, how it's developed, and real-world problems that have to do with languages. So there's a lot of really interesting things about Chinese that I talked about. Specifically, one of the things that I find very fun is that it's called Putonghua in Chinese, which means the common speech. And the reality is it's not commonly spoken across China. It's what's taught in all schools, which is why they call it the common speech. But for many people, learning Chinese in school can almost be like learning a second language here, because it's so different from what they actually speak at home. So that's just really interesting. I saw that like that everywhere in China because many people do speak Putonghua or a variation that is very similar, where the dialect has some differences, but it's close enough that it's pretty easy for them to understand and speak Putonghua. Also, one of the things that I really found interesting and wanted to talk about was Sichuanhua, and I even have a deck of cards that is called. This is specifically Chengduhua cards, and so they're little playing cards, and they have how to say things in Chengdu speech. And then the explanation is in Putonghua. So it gets a bit hard because I don't know Mandarin well enough to understand completely, but it's really fun to learn this way. So I have those, and I'm really excited to study those. The example I used was numbers. It's very hard to get across just written out, and so I kind of wanted to take this chance to show you guys what I meant when I was trying to explain how it's different. So they don't have the sh sound, the sh sound, sh. Here in Sichuan, they don't use it, and so in Putonghua, 4 is si and 10 is shi. And so whenever they're saying 10, they just say si because they don't have that H. So it makes things really interesting because in Mandarin, for 14, you would say literally 10-4, so shi si. And for 44, it's 4-10-4. So si shi si in Mandarin. But in Sichuanhua, because they don't have that H, when they say 44, or when they say 14, it is si si, or when they say 44, it's si si si. And even sometimes I've heard people say si when they mean 44. They literally just take out the 10. They just say 4-4. And so language gets very confusing, and you kind of have to decipher what they're saying sometimes because you don't always know. The other one I really like that I find fun to say is I say shema for what. And here in Sichuan they say sadzi. So you'll walk down the street and a whole bunch of people would just sadzi to each other. And so it's a really fun experience just messing with languages and kind of learning both. So in a way, I'm almost learning 2 languages while I'm here, or a language and I guess the local speech, like a dialect. So yeah, I guess that was kind of it that I talked about, but I hope that some of you are interested in language and that's a fascinating thing for you. And if you are, I'd really be happy to talk about that more, talk about other things you're really interested in. Behind me, I have a whole bunch of postcards because I collect postcards and a map of Chengdu. It's shaped, if you can tell, it's shaped like the head of a panda since Chengdu is the home of the pandas. But I collect postcards, and I love putting them on my wall. And so I thought there's this place called the Panda Post near where I live, and they have a whole bunch of postcards with just pandas on them, like cartoon or real life. And so I thought it'd be fun to send you guys a couple of those. If you'd like them, that'd be great. Just a few, since there's so many of you, I probably can't. I can't send them to you individually, but just a couple for your class. And I'm in my room right now. So yeah, I guess hopefully I will see you with a post on Friday and then talk to you sometime next week. Bye.